Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker, Edge, The Rock, John Cena, Randy Orton, what do they all have in common? Well, they're all great wrestlers, but there's one very key part of their presentation that has always been very, very good, and that is their entrance theme. I feel as though a wrestling entrance theme is the most important part of a character, because even if you don't know the person, even if you don't know what gimmick they have, you can kind of tell who they are and what they're meant to be based on what their entrance theme is. You know, like when you hear the glass shatter of Stone Cold Steve Austin, you know what you're getting from that guy. When you hear the sting of Rock's theme, you know, if you smell what the Rock is cooking, you know what you're about to get. So why is it that modern wrestling themes just don't have that element to them anymore? I mean, sure, some do. I mean, Edge, Adam Copeland still has his theme. I feel like Christian Cage's theme's pretty good. You know, you got ones like Kenny Omega in AEW, you've got Roman Reigns' theme, Cody Rhodes' theme. But it feels as though the people that make themes for wrestlers nowadays, especially in WWE, which we will be getting onto very, very shortly, it feels as though the art of the wrestling theme is an art form that no longer holds the same weight as it did a while ago. So, at first we need to just address the elephant in the room. It's not every single wrestling theme. You know, you've got ones from like Downstate, which are always really good. It Lives, It Breathes also had a really good catalogue, and obviously they did Ospreay's theme. You've got Little V Mills, who did Kenny Omega. You know, and you've got Mikey Ruckus, who's responsible for a lot of bangers from AEW, but there's one team, I guess, I don't even really know, that are responsible for some absolute duds, and they're all in one company, and that's WWE, and that's Def Rebel. Oh my god, I enjoy watching pay-per-views, and I enjoy the entrances, the theatrics. It's the whole point of a pay-per-view. It's bigger than a weekly show, you know, the theatrics are there. So, when I'm watching one of these shows, especially like a Royal Rumble or like a SummerSlam, well, especially this year's Royal Rumble, hearing themes that then had like no impact, and I was like, who is this? And then the graphic pops up, I'm like, oh, it's that person. It's rough because, you know, the art of the wrestling theme is lost. A good wrestling theme defines a very, very good character. Confucius probably at some point in his life. And it is really true, so explain to me how WWE have hired a team like Def Rebel. Again, I don't even know if it's a team or just one singular person. I honestly don't know anymore. But how do you hire somebody like that and then you let your themes just become boring and lifeless and very, very similar? It's something that a lot of people have pointed out recently. Can Def Rebel do a theme without a sting at the beginning that isn't just a nickname or a name? It's ridiculous. Like, imagine if CEW themes were like that, you know, like, you just, before anything, just Blake Payne. Like, the most soulless thing in existence. Like, I couldn't imagine that as a core maker and as someone who develops characters through 2K. I couldn't imagine having really bland themes for a lot of characters that have had a lot of time and effort put into them and their character. I just really want to talk about, like, what can WWE do, and AEW to an extent, because whilst Mikey Ruckus does do some absolute bangers, there's no denying that, some of them just kind of fall to the wayside, and I think that might just be more about modern music and just what the presentation of wrestling and wrestling themes have been perceived to be nowadays, which I don't think is the truth in any regard. I feel like wrestling is, in terms of presentation and how somebody should present themselves, I think is still very much the same as it was back in the day. You know, it's really difficult to kind of talk about, like, oh, but let us look at, like, some of the older examples, you know, like Real American for Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage's, you know, Pomp and Circumstance, because maybe the themes weren't as big of a deal as they were back, as they are now. But they still were, and they still told you a story of who that character was. You know, when you hear pomp and circumstance, you know that's Macho Man Randy Savage. That whole song, even though it had no lyrics to it, it encapsulated who he was and who he was as a character. But now you hear, like, for example, I don't know, who's like probably the worst offender of this off the top of my head. Let's talk about the Creed Brothers theme or something like that. You know, like, I swear their old theme was a Death Rebel theme, and then the Death Rebel theme got Death Rebeled, and now it's worse. And I don't understand that, because, like, the original Creed Brothers theme was good. It worked, and there was no need to change it. But here we are with it being changed, and yeah, I just don't get it. And again, you know, we need to talk about the Stings. No, stop it. You know, if Stone Cold Sting wasn't the glass smashing, it was,
give me a hell yeah.
No. Having someone's name at the beginning of a theme doesn't make it good, just because then people will go, oh, it's Bailey, or oh, it's the New Catch Republic. That's not how that works. You know, if we're going to talk about, like, modern, you know, CFO $, or CFOS, or however they pronounced it, they produced some of the best themes of all time. I mean, are we gonna sit here and say that Bobby Roode's WWE theme is not one of the all-time greats? Are we really gonna sit there and say that that's not the case? Are we gonna sit here and say that Tommaso Ciampa's theme isn't one of the all-time greats? Because now he just comes out to the stupid new DIY theme. Get it off now! I don't... No! I don't understand, man. Like, I don't get it. You know, you have so many great artists out there, and that's the annoying thing. It's like, you know, you see all these people who are, like, big wrestling fans, and, you know, it's not even like WWE aren't willing to work with people. I mean, Rhea Ripley's theme is done by... I think the vocals are just... I think it's just the vocals that are done by Chris Motionless of Motionless in White. It might have been the whole band that did the theme. I'm going to assume they did, because they showed up at Mania and did it. So maybe it is. You know, they've got Alter Bridge for Judgment Day. Like I said, they've got Downstate for Cody Rhodes. What's stopping WWE, apart from their want of more profit and more money, what's stopping them from giving an artist a chance to make some really good themes? You know, what's stopping them from contacting these big names and these big artists to give them some of their characters a really well-defined, really thought-out theme? I don't know what the relationship is anymore, but Jim Johnston, give that man a call again. Yeah, he creates some absolutely, like, all-timer themes. You know, like, just call Alter Bridge best theme of all time is Edge's. That's an Alter Bridge song. Just let that happen. Just give them a call. You know, WWE have the ability to contact so many good artists and really help them out with their careers, and then also help the product by having really, really good themes. But they don't. And that's a problem. They want to be the top in terms of presentation. They want to be, like, the top company in all aspects, and production's one of those things that, in terms of, like, camera angles and graphics and stuff, I don't think WWE can be touched. But when it comes to entrance themes, I don't think that they put enough stake into the production of their entrance themes and the presentation of a character through their entrance music anymore. But let me know what you think. Am I just rambling? Am I old man yelling at clouds? Or do you guys genuinely feel that too? Do you genuinely feel as though WWE really needs to step it up with their entrance themes nowadays?